Hi, I'm Stargate Pioneer.
And I'm Steven Jondrew, and we're from Better Podcasting, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of the individual host.
Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready, because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 320 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. The one from the bathroom is what we're going to call this one, I think, right now. Why is that, Willie?
Because I'm in a bathroom.
There we go. Willie's in the bathroom because he has terrible explosive diarrhea, so if he mutes and doesn't talk, that's the problem.
No. I'm in this excellent acoustic placement because I am at a friend's place, not in my own house.
With explosive diarrhea.
Willie is annoyingly echoey because he's hiding in the shitter.
It is non-existent.
There's no shitter in there?
The other part.
The friend's house?
You son of a bitch.
Oh, you mean the explosive diarrhea. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you.
You're still a son of a bitch.
I shouldn't have brought it up live on the air. I apologize. I swear, everyone, Willie does not have explosive diarrhea. For those of you on audio, I just winked at the camera.
Oh, for those of you watching and listening, because I don't have my camera on, I'm giving Chris the finger of a lifetime.
The finger of a lifetime. Please explain to me how it makes it the finger of a lifetime, and then we can proceed.
I think he's going to make you his girlfriend, Chris.
Willie, I'm already in a committed relationship. I can't do that.
With my finger.
No, I've known...
Oh,
no.
bother.
Oh, you named it? What did you name my finger? Go ahead and say it. You're about to call it something.
Oh.
I wasn't going to, but I can come up with a name for your finger. It's Finger McFingerface.
Let's move on.
It's Finger McFingerface.
Okay. I thought you were gonna do something way
just like Bodie McBoatface.
Christ. Let's just move on from this
What
terribleness.
do you want to move on to, Willie? What have you got that you would?
I don't know if I'm done with pre-show.
I mean, we've started the show, so we're like out of the pre-show, but we're not to like the news. This is the witty banter part of it, and the ridiculous, stupid stories that we sometimes have of I don't know what. I don't know.
Well, you see, my problem is usually I'm in my own place where I can smoke cigarettes inside and be care and fancy free. But in this bathroom, in this confines, I can no smoke cigarettes. So my witter banter is witty gone.
Willie, are you having a Nick fit?
Fuck you.
Wow.
Well, it sounds like we might have a Nick fit on our hands. It's okay, Willie.
Shit, Chris.
I'm afraid of what he's doing right now. I really am.
I'm grabbing your girlfriend. My finger.
It's my fiance now, Willie. She's upstairs in my house.
Oh, I didn't know my hand was all the way over there.
It's just getting worse.
So you cut your hand off and you sent it to West Virginia just for the sake of a joke?
I'm surprised you're not more scared that I know your Wi-Fi password.
What is my Wi-Fi password, Willie? Tell everyone live on episode 320 of the podcast.
Bottom bitch forever.
No.
That's with a 4, and then the E is a 3 for some stupid reason. Chris, you're a weird fucker.
That's not it at all. It's Chris Lurb's Mass Effect.
No. It's Willie's my bitch. All one word, all lowercase.
Well played, sir. Well played, sir.
To get on one network, and then the other network is Chris Did Nothing Wrong. That's the name of that password.
Hold on a second. If I'm supposed to be your bitch, then why are you my hand puppet?
Because you made up some obscure reference to something, and I just went with it.
Chris is a power bottom.
Thank you, Bachman, for the assist.
I'm very confused, but we're just going to go with it. So there's a question for you in the chat room, Willie. You are bottomless. How can you get any more unfettered?
There's no amount of unfettered I can be.
Interesting. There's an Eastern Bandit that just joined us today. Wow. Yeah, so Willie, your comedy. You got to be on point today. We got some new people in there.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, I'm afraid, because my whole equilibrium is out of whack. I am sorry. This is going to be a weird one today. This is going to be a weird one. You goddamn right, you son of a bitch.
You know, you could just do one of the guys I worked with. He quit smoking 20 years ago. But how he quit smoking is he takes the nicotine throat lozenges and just chews on those all day.
Ugh.
So he quit smoking, but he still gets his nicotine.
Throat lozenge?
Yeah, man, it's like it's almost like a hard candy of nicotine, for lack of a better term.
I have never heard of this, nor do I ever want it.
Yeah.
Wait, is it? Wait. Is it cherry flavored?
I don't know what flavor it is. I mean, I could do some quick Google foo and try and find out, but I don't think people live on Twitch.tv care or Geeks.live.
No. So, Chris, why don't you just hit that goddamn button that makes us go into the news of the week? Unless, Bachman, you got anything to add?
Hit the button.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
That's right, internet friends. It's the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what is in our minds the most interesting, geeky, or nerdy news to have happened. Willie, why don't you start us off and tell us about how Thanos did nothing wrong?
So last week we were talking about how there's a subreddit called Thanos Did Nothing Wrong. That's a free. You can cut that, Chris, and put it as a button for you.
Done.
But we did tell you about last week how they were going to take away half of all subscribers and ban them. You can still look at the page, but they were going to take half of them and ban them. I am one of the ones that survived. How about you guys?
I did survive. Did you get your badge on your Reddit profile that showed you survived yet?
I would have to check that out. You'd have to give me a moment, but continue on. Bachman, did you survive?
As far as I can tell, I survived. I posted a tweet in there. Or, they don't call them tweets. I put up a post in the Reddit.
Then you have survived to continue the shit posting that r/Thanos did nothing wrong was the last 4 days before the snapping.
Yeah, I did not get my badge, but I do have my badge. I only have one badge, and that's a 6-year club badge.
Ooh. I don't remember what badges I have. I think I have 3.
I don't think I have any.
But there's a little bit of controversy going on.
What's the controversy?
Because if you were banned, you are supposed to unsubscribe to that subreddit and then subscribe to the subreddit of the Soulstone.
Or was it in the Soulstone? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Man, just go to Thanos Did Nothing Wrong. It'll tell you instantly because that's part of the controversy. People are not leaving it, but they're still going to the Soulstone one. Saved it. Yes.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah. The only 2 badges I have are verified email and 6-year club. So apparently I set up my Reddit account 6 years ago and I posted like 5 things.
Well, in order to get it, you had to have posted something prior to the snapping.
I don't know how to see my badges.
It's on your user profile, so reddit.com/.
Oh, I subscribed to the Reddit, but I don't know if I posted on it before.
Yeah, you had to have posted to be able to be eligible.
Yeah,
I don't think I did.
Posted before or after?
Before the snap, you had to have posted.
Oh, yes. Never mind. Then I don't think I got it then. Fuck you, Chris.
Man, you didn't get your spared badge. I got a spared badge.
I don't really care. Actually, I am a little curious if I have any badges.
I only have 3-year club spared and verified email. That's it.
Yeah, but people are getting still upset that they're staying in both.
Well, I mean, there's nothing preventing someone who was spared from subscribing to the Soulstone Reddit and participating there if they wanted to. It was more, to be honest, it was more, for lack of a better term, a gentleman's agreement that if you got banned, you would unsubscribe. So does it really surprise you that most people aren't unsubscribing?
Okay, I think there's a trophy case. That's no badges.
Yeah, trophy case is where it'll show it. If you've got it.
I just got the one then. 6-year club.
So you don't have.
Oh, my cake day is on August 15th. So yeah, I'm about to have that 7th year club. Yay. Cake day.
I'm sorry you didn't get a spared badge. If you guys haven't seen what it is, it's basically the Reddit bot's head with the 6 stones surrounding him.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And then
Didn't
if you
care.
weren't spared, it is like one of the Reddit heads turning to ash. It's kind of cool.
But you know what we can all agree on either side?
That you should unsubscribe if you get banned.
Well, sure, follow the rules. But also, Thanos did nothing wrong.
It's true.
Why is everyone so angry? He did nothing wrong. Everything is all great and gravy.
Are you trying to say everything is awesome?
They're angry because he won.
He did
But
win.
neither-
That guy wins.
But let's be honest, Ant-Man's already presented us the way they're going to undo it, and we won't talk about that until later. But yeah, the post-credits scene already describes how they're going to undo it.
Whoa. We are in the second week of this movie coming out, so we are in spoiler territory, and I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So I want an answer on the show.
Okay, let's finish up the news, and then we can talk a little bit about Ant-Man. Okay?
You goddamn right we will.
I Thank you.
Chris, who's doing the news next?
You just want to talk about Ant-Man. All right, I'll go next because we're going to talk about something that Willie loves. It's shooter games
All right,
on the
that's cool.
Nintendo
Bachman,
Switch.
what's your news so we can get on with it? I'm kidding. Go.
Specifically, we're going to talk about Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch.
Yay.
It's a game that I've greatly enjoyed, a game that Willie regularly
you
mocks
would.
because Willie has no soul.
Yeah. Tentacle porn for kiddies.
Is that why you hate Splatoon 2?
wrong? I think I froze. But tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong, I guess. I don't know.
I said it's tentacle porn for kiddies.
And I asked if that's why you hated the game, because you don't like tentacle porn.
I thought I froze, but you froze, but we might have both froze. No, why would I hate it for that reason? That's the reason I actually kind of like it.
So why do you hate Splatoon 2, Willie? Is it because of all the cheaters?
No, because the fucking squid wears glasses. That makes no fucking sense.
I was setting it up for the next part of the story. But a lot of people have had some issues with Splatoon 2 because there's a lot of people that cheat on that game. There's no anti-cheat measures that Nintendo's put in on Splatoon 2 like you see in a lot of other shooters.
How do you cheat on a Nintendo Switch game online?
'Cause
Because
they
their
hack-
internet is flawless, isn't it?
Exactly. Honestly, what it is a lot of exploits with hacking the hardware and stuff like that to be able to do things. So late last week, I saw this on both the Nintendo Switch and the Splatoon subreddit. There was a player that had hacked the game to win, to be one of the top players, and the 4 top players' names were, please add anti-cheat. Just to kind of prove the fact, this is how easy it is to hack the leaderboard.
Now, I was going to say,
That's
how sad of
lovely.
a person are you? Just, I want to be the top Splatoon 2 player, so I'm going to hack it. Okay, never mind. They have a reason and a goal. I
Right.
like this.
And this
Behind
person did come on the Reddit thread and said, I fully expect to be banned for this because Nintendo's purpose here is they don't catch anyone, but if you report them, they might ban you. He has been banned. When you are banned on Nintendo Switch Online, it means a perma-ban for your console. So no one on that console can go online and play. He has to buy a new Switch if he wants to play online. It's not tethered to a user account.
If I remember correctly, Chris, help me out with some of this thing. They did exploit the Switch earlier a couple weeks ago, right? And it's pretty much it's like through the graphics card, isn't it?
That's one of the rumors. There's a couple different ways. Supposedly there's a hardware variant that's coming out soon that will eliminate one of those entry vectors.
And that's the only way is to have a new Switch.
Yes.
If you have the old Switch, you can mod it. They can't do shit about it. They can't even update it where it can block it out.
But so
It
here's
is
the
a
thing, though, Willie. If you look at any other shooter game that's out there, they do have anti-cheat stuff in there that monitors for behavior that seems outside the norm that you shouldn't be able to do, and then takes those accounts out, disables them temporarily, removes them from games. It's not unheard of to be playing something, and if someone has one of those cheat exploits like in PUBG or Fortnite, they'll then get banned and thrown off. It's not reliant on a user going on the Nintendo app on their phone or tablet or whatnot and then reporting them and waiting for something to happen. And there is, I mean, it's pretty blatant, some of the cheats they have here. I'm on Polygon, and they describe one of the events here. They say a team of presumably non-hackers face a team of at least one squid kid who doesn't play fair. Within seconds, that player, by the username of FuckInty, manages to ready their special weapon and explode it in yellow ink over the entire map, killing every single member of the other team. That's obviously a glitch. It's obviously an exploit. It's obviously something that shouldn't be happening, because if you haven't played Splatoon 2, you have to get enough kills or paint coverage to actually turn on your special weapon.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Are you telling me this character loaded it up, jumped up in the sky, and let it rain down all yellow on all these players?
That's what it sounds like.
So they had a golden shower is what you're telling me.
Yes, evidently.
And this game that is tentacle porn for kitties. You are a sick, sick bastard.
Well, how am I a sick bastard?
You own this game.
Me and many other people.
You're one of many sick, sick bastards.
All right, so let's go and talk more about the exploit again. They mentioned in the article, the game launched last July. The multiplayer mode has been rife with players with unlimited ink meters, superpowered weapons, or even the ability to turn invisible. This is all achieved through hardware exploits, and the ones that remain are hard to patch out. So Nintendo's stances rely on legitimate players to report anyone manipulating the game through the Splatoon 2 Splatnet app. The problem is some of these cheats just can't even be reported. Evidently, Splatoon 2 dropped a patch last week, just like most other multiplayer shooters. What it does is the normal thing you'd expect. Nerf some abilities, balance out weapons, things like that. Nothing in there mentions any exploit protection or anything like that to catch anti-cheaters. So you can kind of see why the subreddit posted this and said, hey, this really is a bigger deal than you want to put out there. And when you have a game that's rife and full of cheaters, the people that are enjoying it and playing legitimately stop playing eventually, because it's no fun to come into a game and lose within 30 seconds.
That's true.
It's almost like you get what you pay for on this one. Oh yeah, we don't pay for the Nintendo Online service, and they don't use their own servers. It's all peer-to-peer right now. And then they're going to charge me 20
and that's
bucks
what
a
you
month.
get for it too.
Right. I mean, in all honesty, like I said, you look at these shooters on some of these other consoles, they do have anti-cheat measures on them, and they filter some of these things out on their own. It's a problem. So going back at the end...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, so like I was saying, Nintendo relies on players to police the game, and it's kind of hard to do. We'll go back to the Reddit user who posted that. He said, my purpose in doing this was to call attention to the current issue that plagues the game, and I've done that. But my message is, please make protecting your players the top priority. Polygon then updated it and said, this player has been in fact banned from Splatoon 2 multiplayer for the leaderboard hack. The suspension is indefinite. So he did bring attention to it. He brought attention to it on Reddit, where I think it even hit the front page from both the Nintendo Switch subreddit and the Splatoon one. There were 2 threads. I believe they hit the front page of Reddit. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of pressure this puts on Nintendo to try and clean up the game a little bit. I have not run into cheaters very often playing it. That being said, I probably haven't picked up Splatoon 2 in about 3 months, though.
Can we talk about another Switch game right quick if you're done with Splatoon 2?
Sure. What do you got?
So it's been over 6 months at least since the Switch got their own version of a game that ran, let's just say, subparly. WWE 2K18.
Oh yeah, it did
You
not
remember
run
that?
well. Not at all.
Yeah. So that you needed a micro SD card to even run it because it was so beefy for that little console.
Yes, they could not fit it all on the cartridge, so it was doing an update from the web to get a lot of it, is my understanding.
Yeah, and it got choppy even with just 2 people, let alone 6 characters in the ring at once. It's been 6 months and there's been no updates. It's not gotten better. And I don't know if you saw this, but they apparently announced 2K19 and they did not even mention a Switch port.
Well, yeah, it was so problematic, it wouldn't surprise me if they're holding off on it. And I was going to say who made it, then I remembered you mentioned, who's the developer on that? It's not Ubisoft.
2K,
is it 2K?
No. It's 2K, which is Activision? Oh, is that?
No, Activision got bought up, but they're part of Blizzard and stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah, it can't be Ubisoft. They make good games.
Not necessarily on the Switch.
They make buggy games, too.
They make the same game every year, just with different graphics.
He's got you there.
As long as it's called Ratchet and Clank, I don't give a fuck. I'll play it.
That's not Ubisoft.
I thought that was Ubisoft.
No, that's the people making goddamn Spider-Man, Insomniac.
Yeah, no, I thought Insomniac worked with Ubisoft on the last Ratchet and Clank.
Ubisoft is not developers, though, are they? Don't they just a company that has other developers?
They have developers of their own. They also partner with smaller studios.
Oh yeah, like Ubisoft Montreal and all that. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, it's 2K Games that makes WWE 2K series, which sort of makes sense now that we talk about it. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it doesn't come to the Switch. There's some reevaluating going on how some of those games work on there, because when you get good ports like Wolfenstein and Doom, you get some bad ports in there. Because honestly, if you've gone and seen like the Digital Foundry videos on the ports of Wolfenstein and Doom, they're pretty damn impressive for what they're doing. Those games look gorgeous on like the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, things like that. And they've taken things that are designed to flourish on those systems and made it work on handheld chipsets and make it so that while the graphics might be degraded somewhat, the gameplay itself is still there. So it's just a matter of you got to find the right developer to port your stuff over to the Switch, it sounds like.
How are the frame rates?
They said they're pretty solid, around 30 frames per second.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's good.
they say it dips in a few places, but nothing unplayable on those games, which is impressive. Now, they're sacrificing the graphics to do that. Let's be honest here. We know that was going to be the case, but the gameplay experience is still the same. I haven't played them on the Switch. I'm not going to, because I have both those games on my Xbox, so why buy them again?
Well, when you get your PS4 and sell your Xbox, that's why.
I'm selling my Xbox now.
I never said that part.
You mean my Xbox that just this week got HDR10 support on top of Dolby Vision? Excuse me, got Dolby Vision support on top of HDR10.
That even means.
It's the HDR standards that are supported. So
That's
soon
cool.
you'll be able to watch movies in either HDR10 or Dolby Vision, and presumably it'll also apply to games soon, because Dolby Vision is actually the better standard, but not everyone supports it yet.
It's when you watch with that Harry Potter elf on your head.
That's
Dolby
Dobby.
Vision.
That's Dolby Vision.
Close enough.
No,
So-
it's not. That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
What's weird, Willie? You all right over there?
No, I keep blanking out, I think.
It's the fumes they're getting to him.
No, I think the Wi-Fi keeps popping in and out, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, it does.
That's what happens when you talk shit about Splatoon 2. Nintendo snipers are getting you right now.
What happens when you talk shit in the shitter?
They're probably...
Yeah,
See?
they got him again. They got him again.
Don't care.
So that's it for my news. Excuse me, Bachman, what do you got for us?
I got die, die, die. Did anybody hear about die, die, die?
No.
Maybe.
This is actually really fucking cool, especially going into SDCC, where, as the article on CBR puts it, we'll hear about comics that we're not going to read for 6 months. And in a world where the end of Batman 50 was leaked before it hit shelves, getting something to the comic book shop so that when you walk in the store, you're surprised is really fucking hard to do these days. And so when somebody major pulls it off, it's pretty fucking cool. So a lot of people had no clue that a new book was coming out from Skybound. A lot of stores had no idea that they were ordering it. Even if they didn't order it, it was actually just added into their diamond order and sent to their stores unbeknownst to them, and some of them with no fees. So it was pretty cool. I went in to pick up my comics on New Comic Book Day, and I had this awesome little sticker that said, Captain Comics Incorporated and Skybound want to thank you for your support. Because you have 2 or more Robert Kirkman titles on your list, this premiere issue is free. So in my pull box was a free copy of one of the 10 variant covers of a new comic called Die, Die, Die.
Nice.
Which is a new ultraviolet, like, spy super thriller from Robert Kirkman and Chris Burnham, Scott M. Gimple, and Nathan Fairbairn. The cover I got, the dudes are just, covered in blood over some dead bodies. And the text balloons are different, I guess, on 10 different variant covers. And the one I got was making the world safe for 24-hour dry cleaners, because they're just making a mess. But yeah, it's this awesome ultraviolet book, crazy ass like spy stuff. It's kind of like The Boys from Dynamite and DC minus the superhero stuff. But yeah, so Robert Kirkman was able to get a book into comic book stores and on the shelves without anybody knowing it was coming, without any preview articles, nothing. And that's fucking fantastic. And he did a nice one-page write-up in the back of it talking about how, he used to walk into the comic book store and before previews and before everybody knew everything 6 months ahead of time, it would be cool where you'd walk in and see something on the shelf that you knew nothing about and you just picked up and looked at it and said, hey, this might be up my alley. And so that was what his plan was, basically to do with Die, Die, Die. So yeah, so this awesome book came out. And then, I guess apparently if people like me had more than 2 Robert Kirkman titles on their pull list, they got a free copy. So as far as I know, my store didn't have to pay for it. Like, it came free from Skybound. So I'm fucking ecstatic. The book was fun as shit, and I've already added it to my pull list. Like, it looks like it's going to be a really fun, super violent title.
So then their plan paid off in that regard. That it was
indeed.
They took a risk of saying, hey, this is someone who likes our stuff. Let's give them a taste of something new and see if they subscribe. And now they've got another subscriber.
Yep. And it makes sense since, Invincible's over, so Kirkman had one less book he was writing each month. So, he apparently has a little bit of free time. So now I think, let's see, he's doing The Walking Dead, he's doing Outcast, and Oblivion Song. And so I think Thief of Thieves ended. So this is only his 4th currently running monthly title. So yeah,
only 4.
He can do 4. There was a point where I think that dude was doing 8. Like, he's not quite Brian Michael Bendis, but Robert Kirkman's a prolific motherfucker when all he's doing is writing. It's running all these shows on TV that seem to slow down his comics, but since he doesn't seem to be running any of those anymore, apparently he got the urge to write some more. So yeah, really cool comic. I enjoyed the first issue. I'm trying to see if there was anything else important about it in the article I was reading on CBR. But yeah, it's really cool because they snuck a book out with no anything, no previews, no interviews, no nothing. Just, hey, here's an awesome book. Check it out. See if you want to watch it or see if you want to add it to your pull list. So yeah, so that one was cool. And then there was some other fairly important comic book news. I picked up the first issue of Ruin World, which you got the nice, awesome Sean Galloway variant cover. This is Derek Loffman. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram. Fantastic artist. He does this not chibi style, but a slightly cartoony, slightly chibi style to most of his characters, where they all just look super fucking cute and awesome. And it's like a fantasy world, like a World of Warcraft with anthropomorphic animals, which just fantasy world with anthropomorphic animals running around, going through dungeons and stuff. Fantastic fun book. It's just a mini series from Boom Studios. I think it's 6 issues. And then there was sad news. A lot of people, this might be a spoiler if you're not completely caught up, but I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young, issue number 20 came out, and unbeknownst to everybody, at the end of the issue, the story ends. So Scotty put a letter in the back. He's done with I Hate Fairyland, at least for now. This is the last book. So this is the end of Gert's story. So if you haven't picked this book up yet, well, it's done. So one less book on my pull list, but yeah, it was another fantastic issue. The artwork on I Hate Fairyland is just so gorgeous because it's Scotty Young with no limitations, just writing, drawing, whatever the hell he wants. And it's
without a spoiler, does it have an ending to it?
Yes, it has an ending. Yeah,
okay, I didn't think it just left on a cliffhanger.
No, this was something where they didn't tell anybody the book was ending, and Scotty Young just wrote the ending and did it, and just like it was a surprise at the end of the book. Hey, it's fucking done. And so yeah, it has an ending in the story. It has a little prologue, and then it has a 1-page or 1 or 2-page letter from Scotty Young talking about how he wanted, there was something else he wanted to work on. He thought the story was coming to an end, so he wanted to wrap it up. And so yeah, it's an actual ending. Yeah, it's not a season finale with no finale. He actually wrote the ending. And then all of that happened really because I went to my comic book store to get one book, and that's The Amazing Spider-Man #1. Motherfucking Ryan Otley has been brought up to the big leagues. It's gorgeous. Nick Spencer's story is damn hilarious. Peter Parker is getting screwed over again because he has the Parker luck, and he's now stuck currently with Boomerang as a roommate. It's a ridiculous story.
Captain Boomerang?
Captain Boomerang, yeah.
I thought that was a DC character.
Boomerang, not Captain Boomerang. Boomerang.
I got you.
But it's fucking hilarious. The story's great. There's some real actual like tender moments in it too that Nick Spencer nailed. I was sad to see Dan Slott go, but this is like a worthy successor. And honestly, there are shots where, other than the hair being a little different, Parker and Mary Jane look just like Mark Grayson and fucking Eve. So it has that awesome feel of Invincible without being Invincible. And there's a giant alien invasion that instead of it being a bloodbath, they just made it all green blood. So it's okay. And so Ryan Otley's still got to draw a giant bloodbath in his first issue of Amazing Spider-Man, which is so fitting for the Invincible artist. But yeah, the book was amazing. It's totally worth getting. I'm super excited. If it was either one, if it was just Otley's artwork or just Nick Spencer's story, it would be worth getting. The two of them together is goddamn fantastic. And then Rathburn and Martin. What?
Why is this number one? Why is there number one again?
Because fucking that's all companies do is relaunch shit.
How much did the previous Amazing Spider-Man get to?
The last issue, Dan Slott's last issue, was issue 801. So this is really issue 802. It just happens to be issue number 1 of volume like 9 or whatever. Are they
also going to call it 802 as well, and they're going to keep that up as well?
Actually, yeah. It actually has legacy numbering LGY 802 underneath the number 1.
Of course it does.
Yeah. Well, because, of course, when they get to 1,000, even if they relaunch the week before, it's still going to have 1,000 on the cover. So,
I mean, we're doing that with Spider-Man movies still today. So, I mean, why not do it with comics too, right?
Yeah, but those are numbered trilogies. That's totally different. And comics, it's a thing that's been being done for the last 30 years where they're just always resetting. It's not a funny joke, so therefore I have to explain.
It was a hilarious joke.
Yeah, it's good comics. Really good stuff to read this week. So, yeah, go hit your LCS. Go spend some money locally at a local business. They'll appreciate it.
I might with I Hate Fairyland, since it has a beginning and an end now.
It does. And they did the first hardcover. Scotty Young put it out in pink leather. So I'm assuming there'll be a second hardcover, which I think will be enough to cover the whole series. I think there were 10 issues in the first one. And even if it was less than that, I'm guessing since the book only went 20 issues, he'll probably be able to combine it into two big hardback books. But yeah, the first one has a pink leather cover. So, but I don't know if he'll redo another large one with all of it. They might do an omnibus. Image likes, quadruple printing stuff to where people will buy the singles, the trades, the hardcovers, and then the omnibus. Lots of people did that on Invincible. For a while, I was buying 3 of those. And I had to stop buying the trades. I'm like, why the fuck am I buying the trades? And I turn around and buy the hardcovers anyways.
Yeah. Just because you love it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just
true.
Expensive as shit.
But then I started giving the trades out to people and getting them hooked on Invincible.
You were an evangelist for it.
Damn right. Proselytize.
I like it.
I will speak the good word of Robert Kirkman. Bring it to the people. The love of Ryan Otley.
I like it.
Chris seems like he's a little out of it.
Sorry, I didn't have coffee yet this morning.
Oh, no.
And I haven't had my cigarette.
So he's having a Nick fit. I mean, no, he's fine.
He's just sniffing the shitter.
But it smells perfectly fine in here. What is wrong with you? You have
I don't know. It's you trapped in a room. It can't smell that good.
I'm not trapped in here. I'm not a gimp.
They locked Willie in the bathroom.
I'm not. The door's unlocked. I came in here my own free will. You know what? Chris, what comes next?
What does come next, Willie?
Motherfucker, introduce the shit like you normally do.
No, Chris, keep fucking with him. It's funnier that way.
I mean, it is a little funny that way. But yes, one of the next things we have to do here is remind you guys that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. We've got 25 plus different shows in the network that cover a variety of topics. If you listen to us, you know we cover pretty much anything geeky that strikes our fancy in a week, but we have things that are much more narrowly focused. Things like Game Life Balance US and Australia that are video games focused. Things like the Starling Tribune that are about a specific television program. The show Arrow. There's all sorts of things there, and we can't sit here and run down every show on the network, but we can give you a taste of one other show and say, hey, you guys should check this out. So, Willie, what show are we checking out this week?
I'm going through the whole list. I'm going to tell you every single one because we got time now, Chris.
You're going to go through. You don't even have the list of all of them.
You goddamn right I don't. But today I'm going to tell you about Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Comic Universe podcast. This is episode 245, Legion, Chapter 9. The Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Director SP, Agent Haley, Agent Lauren, and Consultant Michelle discuss the Legion second Season 2 premiere, episode Chapter 9. The agents have a therapy session as they try to figure out what they just watched. They discussed astral time travel. They agree that Haley needs Deadpool to explain to her what's happening. They decide that the movie shorthand for an apocalyptic future is knitted schwalls. And they discuss the top 10 Marvel supervillains by evilness and hotness. I like that hotness part. Back to you, Chris.
Why, thank you, Willie. So you can go check out Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all the other great shows that make up the network by heading on over to GonnaGeek.com, click on the network button, and it's all there for you.
But seriously, let me read this exactly how it says it. Discuss the Legion second 2 premiere episode, Chapter 9.
Should be season. It's a typo.
It caught me. It got me.
Well, good job.
What, with tripping over myself?
Yeah, you did good. It was entertaining, Willie. We appreciate it.
So, Chris, what have you been into?
I thought you wanted to talk about Ant-Man for a second.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted your answer.
That's what we're into. So how are they going to get out of this predicament?
How are they going to get into the predicament? Let's talk about the first post-credit scene where right before he jumps into the what is it, the quantum realm bridge or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Janet looks at him and says something like, and don't pay attention to those time eddies or anything like that or something to that effect. They can get real distracting. So time travel is possible through the quantum realm.
Oh, that's what you're thinking is going to be used to fix Infinity War?
So we know he's stuck in the quantum realm. Spoiler alert. I mean, honestly. We know he's stuck there because while he's in the quantum realm, everyone else turns to dust, which kind of sucks because I kind of thought Wasp would be cool to see in Infinity War Part 2 when we probably will see her at the very end of it, but neither here nor there. So
yeah, the odds that all 3 people running the machines got dusted is kind of shitty.
I feel
and
bad.
Funny.
Yeah, I feel bad for Janet. She comes out of the quantum realm where she would have been safe and then gets dusted.
Well, see, and that's the other question,
safe?
because some people are saying he's safe because he's in the quantum realm. Is that fucking true? Do we know whether or not Thanos' snap killed half the creatures in the quantum realm as well?
I think it's
we don't
an assumption.
know that.
It's an assumption a lot of people are making. It's a theory I actually had prior to this movie, is that Scott would be in the quantum realm at some point when the snap happened, and that he'd be safe because of that.
I got the answer. It's the quantum realm. So both yes, they did, and no, they didn't.
It's not the Schrodinger's realm. It's the quantum realm. It's just another layer of reality.
Every answer is possible in the quantum realm.
The snap could have taken out half the Micronauts. We don't know.
So I think what's going to happen to get Scott out of there at some point is there's obviously no one there to retrieve him because you hear him talking on the radio and nothing happening. They drop that little nugget of those time eddies or whatever it is that she called it. He's going to use one of those to get his way out of the quantum realm to be here for Infinity War Part 2. Remember, Infinity War Part 2 presumably takes place like 4 years in the future, is what the rumor is going around. So he'll find his way back out.
That is...
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that's not what they saw or what Hank Pym saw when he shrunk down. That's not the creatures he saw. Those were water bears.
He didn't get... But Scott was already down to the quantum level, whereas Hank wasn't when he saw those things, I think. Because he got stuck.
Yeah. He wasn't all the way to the base level yet.
Yeah, that was my understanding of it. So he'll find some way to use that to come back to our realm, and he'll have the quantum particles or whatever it is, and that will make some kind of difference for Infinity War Part 2. What that difference is, I haven't quite figured out yet, but it's totally setting up what's going to happen to bring Ant-Man into Infinity War.
I'm just really happy that they brought water bears into it.
I figured you would be.
Those indestructible little beasts.
I don't know. I'm going to say something blasphemous. I thought Ant-Man and the Wasp was pretty boring until about halfway through the movie.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
I think it's more just because the Marvel movie I'd seen right before this was Infinity War, which had big stakes throughout it and was a bit more tense, and this was not that, which doesn't mean it was bad. It's just it was different than what I came in expecting. I think if I had seen some other movie, or if I'd rewatched Ant-Man before I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'd feel differently on it.
I think that's why I liked it, because the stakes were so low. It was, we need a piece of equipment, and we need Scott to not get busted on parole.
No, that was
Like,
fine. It's just, honestly, the first act and a half of the movie I thought was really boring. But maybe I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, because anything with Walter Goggins, I'm always entertained. That motherfucker is awesome.
Yeah,
he's such a
great.
good villain. Like, he's so good at being a villain.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of catch up, but I like the whole like stuck in his house for 3 days thing. The way they played the comedy with the FBI guy that kept trying to catch him, but wasn't really like a dick. He was just doing his job and kind of wanted to be liked. The little joke between them about going to dinner. I laughed so, the whole theater was laughing at that one. That shit was good. Would you want to go out to dinner? Like, that shit was so awkward and creepy and funny all at the same time. That, and I love that Michael Pena, like, I really wanted him to tell the story of Infinity War, but because this takes place beforehand, I love that they used his storytelling ability and used it as a solid plot device again this time. But it wasn't just to set up like a robbery. It was literally, we're going to, like, this needs to be done in the story of the movie. And so we're going to make him tell a story and make it even funnier by basically drugging him. Like, that shit was hilarious. And their whole ex-con company was lovely. I thought that was just a cool concept. It's like, well, no one will hire us, so we'll just start our own company because we're all ex-cons. Like, that was great.
I don't know. It was all right. It was a Marvel movie that was successful, and it made money. It did what it needed to do to advance the greater narrative. I just thought that it was slow-paced to begin with.
I agree with that. It was a little slow paced.
At the end of the movie, I was like, all right, the third act was awesome. I loved it. Like, all the hijinks going on with the suits, the way they do the fights, bouncing between full size and miniature sized, is fantastic. I always enjoy that, and I like the fact that they actually.
Curious about something though. A little bit of a plot hole here. You need the helmet when you shrink, though. Otherwise, you go crazy. How come when they shrunk in the car, they didn't need a helmet?
The car's contained.
You don't need a helmet. You need to be inside a container.
Yeah.
Those windows were down.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
Michael Pena's were in the final act when he got the Matchbox car out, I think.
Thank you.
I think they were.
No, maybe it doesn't need to be fully contained. You just need to have something above your head.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds
maybe
like
that one's
a
no
lot of
oversight.
excuses.
It sounds like Hank Pym's a lot better at his job than the guy who was Yellow Jacket in the first movie, so he doesn't turn people into goo when they shrink. The answer to any plot hole in an Ant-Man movie is Pym particles. That's the fucking answer. How does he power the building? Pym particles. Why doesn't it have to be hooked up to sewer, water, and trash? Pym particles.
Yeah, he
Because
just shrinks it
Pym
all down to
particles
nothing.
can fucking do anything. They are literally a Marvel Deus Ex Machina that he created. Anything you need an answer for, Hank Pym will fucking think it up.
And he's still an asshole, and no matter what cinematic universe or comic universe you want him in.
Yeah, I do love that they didn't go the full route of making him an abusive husband, but they have fully made Hank Pym like the asshole elder statesman of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I really kind of love that because Hank Pym is a dick. And if nobody's read the comics, you don't realize, yeah, Hank Pym is an asshole. Most people hate him. He created Ultron.
Yes!
Yeah. Because of his giant fucking ego.
And then merged with Ultron in the Soul Stone at some point. It's gotten really weird lately.
Yeah, now he's resurrected Hank Ultron, which is, I still don't understand that character, and I think I've read everything it's been in, and it's still just fucking confusing.
Guys, I think Sailor Poland just nailed it in the chat room. He said, Pym particles are to Marvel what Expelliarmus is to Harry Potter.
That's right.
What is Expelliarmus to Harry Potter?
That's the spell he uses all the damn time to basically, it's the disarming spell.
Yeah,
that's why Harry Potter's
your wand out of your
bullshit.
hand.
Harry Potter's bullshit.
Whoa. Why is Harry Potter bullshit?
Harry Potter's fantastic.
Because
you're ridiculous.
Fantastic Beasts is bullshit. Harry Potter's awesome.
That movie had no plot.
Yeah.
It didn't have holes. It had no
Fantastic Beasts was boring as all hell. So all you Harry Potter fans who are mad at me for saying that right now, feel free to send me your hate tweets at the Chris Farrell.
Oh no, South Porky.
Send them
Definitely
to South
at
Porky also. because while I enjoy the Harry Potter world, Fantastic Beasts was a total cash grab. And
Can you tell
there
me
was
what
no
the plot
payoff
of
until the last
Fantastic
20 minutes.
was?
I'm sorry?
Can you tell me what the plot of Fantastic Beasts was? Who was the main character? What was his goal in the movie? Did
Newt
he
wanted to
succeed?
recapture his beasts that got out, and then they set up the main story for all the future stuff, which is the rise of Grindelwald.
Yeah. The story was he brought a dangerous container of creatures to New York City and then released them and then had to catch them because he's a fucktard.
Yeah,
that
so-
was the story.
There's only one character who had a goal set before the plot started and actually succeeded in it. And that's what's his God. I like that
Grindelwald?
actor. No, I like the actor. His like sidekick guy. It's all.
Oh, Jacob, I think was
what's
the
that
character's
actor's
name.
He's great, especially in the Goldbergs. He's the uncle. He's
Yeah,
also
the
in
dude from,
Fanboys.
Fanboys.
Yeah, Fanboys. Yep.
Dan Fogelman or whatever.
That's it. Dan Fogelman.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Fanboys
yeah.
is a great movie, by the way. I love
Because
that
he
movie.
won. Oh yeah, he
Dan
wanted.
Vogler.
Yeah,
That's it.
Fogler.
Fogler, something like that. I don't know.
Whatever.
We're probably screwing up his name. Sorry if you're listening, Dan.
I
It doesn't
looked it
matter.
up
He
on
had his
IMDb.
goal. He wanted a
Dan
bakery. He got his bakery.
I don't know. I hope the second Fantastic Beasts movie
Is a piece
it
of
seems-
shit. Me too.
It seems like it's actually going to have a bit more plot to it than let's go chase a bunch of monsters and play Pokemon Go through 1920s.
Whoa,
New York.
no. That was not the plot. The plot for the beasts were not already loose at the beginning of the movie.
They were the loosened beasts that he had to catch
What was his goal before the movie started?
to find
Sneaking to New
beasts.
York.
Just to go to New York? I'm here.
Actually, it was
cool.
to go into New York to release the Thunderbird back in its
Yeah.
homeland.
And then he was an asshole.
It was just poorly done.
He was the him of the Harry Potter universe.
kind of, yeah. He kind of had an okay idea, and then he fucked up everything. Yeah, that's Hank Pym. That's definitely Hank Pym.
Jurassic Park had no plot at all, so let's not bag too much on Fantastic Beasts. Fair point.
Jurassic Parks have never needed a plot because it's about bringing dinosaurs back to life and having them eat humans.
So Fantastical Beasts is kind of the same kind of thing in that aspect.
Jurassic
Let's be
Park
honest.
had lots of plot. They wanted to open a park up with dinosaurs, so they brought in to see if they could, convince people that there are dinosaurs here by bringing actual paleontologists here.
Dear.
and 7 times it has ended up with dead people. And yet they keep doing it.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
All right, let's wrap up the show. If you're a longtime listener of the show, you know we wrap things up with a little bit called What I'm Into.
Chris, what are you into?
It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to go check them out yourselves. So I guess I have to go first because Willie decided to interrupt me and ask what I've been getting into. So yesterday I went and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp. I've already kind of given some of my feelings on that, talked about it. I had to deal with MoviePass surge pricing, and it's probably going to be what drives me off the service because if you buy a ticket past noon, you got a surge pricing fee applied to it, which was $3.20. So
Hold on a second. How many movies are shown before noon? I know there's a few, but that's like once for a movie,
Right.
maybe for a big movie.
So the way it's been explained to me from reading on the Reddit thread or whatever is once they sell X number of tickets, and in this case it was for 4 movies, it was for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Skyscraper, I can't remember the other 2, but 2 newer releases. It was you got surge pricing applied to it. So in my case, in West Virginia, it was a $3.20 surge pricing fee applied to it. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it was $2.20. In Washington, D.C., it was $4.30. So it's kind of making it so that you're punished if you don't go see the very first screening on something that's been out for the first few weekends. And no, it wasn't Uncle Drew. That was not part of surge pricing this week. It was, I can't remember what all of them were. But
You're just punished for seeing the newest releases.
yes. Well, not even that. Ant-Man came out last week, so it's not even opening weekend. They're punishing you for at least the first 2 weeks now on a big release.
I don't use my movie pass to go see new movies. I go
And
see the
see-
movies right before they leave the theater.
I do use my movie pass to go see new movies. So the problem you start to run into there is I'm paying $10 a month, and now I'm also paying about $3.20 on top of that for every movie I go see. It becomes less cost effective, and it's frustrating because they're not exactly transparent about how it works. You just get a warning, and eventually it's up. This is surge pricing, and one of the things they promised in their original FAQ is once a month you could ditch the surge pricing fee on a movie. Well, that's not rolled out yet into the app, so you have to accept the surge pricing fee, and I don't know if I'm going to keep using this then, because it's becoming a lot less cost effective. I was seeing 2 or 3 movies a month. In a movie, if I go and see a matinee, it's about $8. So it was taking me generally 2 screenings before I made back what I was paying per month. And now it's $3.20 each on top of that. What's the point?
Yeah, you're gonna have to see like at least 4 movies for it to pay for itself.
Yeah, it's basically evening it out. So there's no reason for me to have that service. If I was going to see a bunch of movies more than that, maybe. But the surge pricing thing really annoys me. And there's other people that have picked up their own subscription services. AMC just launched one this last week. There's another service called Cinemia. So I'm going to go and do a little research and see what else is out there, because the surge pricing is ridiculous. And once we transition off of me, I'll check my MoviePass app and see where their surge pricing has started. Looking on the MoviePass Reddit yesterday, it seemed like anything after noon, you started getting surge pricing applied to it. So what's the point? If you want to change the pricing structure, raise the price of the service. Don't do some weird thing that's like, oh, we're going to institute weird surge pricing for certain movies in here. That's
I think right now it's the stopgap feature, because they haven't figured out how to do the IMAX or the one new movie a month pricing structure. They haven't figured all that stuff out yet, and so I think the surge pricing is just their stopgap at the moment.
No, the surge pricing is
a little money back.
The surge pricing is because their stock is selling for 16 cents a share, and they're about to go bankrupt. And
that too.
There's enough people that are frustrated by this that I wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing subscriptions drop, which maybe is what they want, is to clear some people out of there. I don't know. But from my standpoint, it's becoming where it's not really cost effective for me. That's why I was doing it, is because it was giving me a chance to see a lot of movies I wasn't necessarily going to see. But I don't want to have to feel like, oh crap, I don't have time to go see 3 movies this month. I'm losing money on this. And if it's a couple months in a row, what's the point? I'd rather just as lief spend my own money at the cinema.
Yeah.
Or
it makes sense, yeah. The way you're using it, yeah, they're making it to where it's not as cost effective for you. It still works for me the way I use it.
Right.
So I think, yeah, it depends how you want to use the MoviePass.
So I think it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Like I said, though, and like Anthony mentioned, this is really just their last gasp to try and figure out how to become profitable, because the whole concept of we'll be able to data mine and know trends on who's watching these kind of movies and make that be something we can sell back to people, not working. And I'm really curious to see all the theaters start to roll out their own subscription services, because like I said, AMC rolled one out. There's a rumor that Regal's considering doing it because they bought a series of movie theaters in Europe that have a subscription model. So you might start seeing the theaters pick them up. I would totally do the AMC subscription, except for the fact the AMC theater in town is garbage and has been for years, and I will not purchase anything from them. It's a terrible theater.
Speak with your dollars.
That's exactly what I'm doing there. I will not go see movies in that theater because it's terrible. It smells bad. The last 2 times I went there, chewing gum got left in my seat, so I left with chewing gum smeared across the side of my shirt.
Oh, jeez.
The guy next to me was pissing across the seat to the other side of me.
He probably was. Let's see some other stuff I've been getting
into. It was me.
That's why you don't go to the movies with Willie.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple other things I've been getting into is I've been playing Fallout Shelter on my Switch because I love it again for some reason. Also some Hyrule Warriors, and continuing the campaign of Star Wars Battlefront 2, in addition to just watching random stuff on TV. And I think I'm on episode 15 of season 5 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I'll probably finish it this week and be ready for the new season to start. But that's what I've been getting into. Willie, what have you been getting into, sir?
Oh, you don't say. I like this. Just for me? Well, I've also saw some movies, since we're going to keep talking about movies.
Bathrooms. He's been getting into bathrooms.
Well, that too, apparently, because I'm in one right now. That's your fucking joke. Yeah, your smug-ass motherfucking face. Anyway, I went to go see The Purge. Was it The First Purge? Well, what's it called? What's the full title of it?
I don't know.
The Purge, The First Year?
The First Purge.
Oh, it's just called The First Purge. Okay.
So, guys, they're already up to surge pricing at $12.08 in Morgantown, so you could not have caught a single showing on anything without paying surge pricing on MoviePass.
So right now, like, everything that's showing is surge pricing in your town.
Everything that has this red lightning bolt. So Hotel Transylvania 3, Jurassic Park is not, Sicario is not, Skyscraper, surge pricing.
Okay, so it's just the new movies, and it's the weekend, so afternoon kind of makes sense.
Still playing?
Yep.
Yeah.
What about 20 years later? Over 20 years
Excuse
later?
me, Jurassic World. I
You
misspoke.
goddamn right.
I
Full title, please,
apologize.
motherfucker. Full title.
Jurassic World, another cash grab.
This is not Doug Lowe's
I'll allow it.
movies.
I'll
Settle
allow
down,
it.
Willie.
I will allow that, though. That cash grab. I like it. Then I also, which was, you know what? I'm going to say the first Purge. It's in between, because those movies get better and better until this one. This one goes back down to between 1 and 2. Better than 1, not as good as 2. And that third one, now that's still the golden child there. And then I also saw one of my most favorite movies of the summer, Uncle Drew. One of the best movies of this summer, by far. Go see Uncle Drew. Chris. Go see Uncle Drew.
I might. It's not one that has surge pricing on it.
There's no surge pricing. I can guarantee you that. Now the theater I went to, or the theater room they had this movie in, I did not know they had one this small. It was only 2 rows of stadium seats, and then like 2 floor rows, with one of the floor rows being like all handicap seating. So it was just the one front row, then the handicap, then they started up 2 rows of the stadium seating, and it was full. It was full of people, and I was not a whole fan of that. I had 2 old people to my right. I'm talking about like old people, like someone's grandparents. And yeah, the wife just would not shut up. I mean, no offense, I mean, it was all right, but it was just like, really, lady? Other than that, I've been getting into heavily of Overwatch back again. Still trying to raise up my SR. I'm going to platinum, motherfuckers. I'm going all the way to platinum. I'm already back in gold, where I'm supposed to be. Now I'm on my way to platinum, where I'm also supposed to be. There's 2 places where I'm supposed to be. You do the math. I believe in you.
I don't like math. You do it for me.
No.
I just did it for you.
You keep
It's
your
my
math
one
to
finger
yourself.
right up there with you, Chris.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Yeah. Other than that, I did watch Luke Cage. Finished all that. Season 2. I will say, yeah, Bushmaster? Is that his name? Bushmaster, right? Bushmaster. Yeah, I know there's also Bushwhacker. I wasn't trying to get confused. Yeah, Bushmaster was better villain. Much better villain than what was his fucking Diamondback?
Yeah.
God, that was just the worst fucking villain. What was that suit? God, they just stopped trying halfway through that series, didn't they?
That suit was a plot device to give him a reason to be able to fight Luke Cage.
Did they have to make it look like that?
No, they didn't. But somebody in the costume department fell down on the job.
It looked like a shitty animation from the 80s, early 80s. It looked like an animation cell from there. Just put on a live action person. God, that was shitty. Other than that, I haven't gotten anything else, I don't think. Except for my friend stealing my photograph and not giving me credit for it.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm going to call her out on that. I hope she's still in the living room and they haven't left yet.
Oh,
Son's a
shit.
bitch.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go see if she did. I want to call her out.
All right.
I'll come back with results.
So, Anthony, wrap it up for us. What have you been getting into?
I've been getting into watching some Netflix. Jim Jeffries put out his new special, This Is Me Now, which was goddamn enjoyable. I love that dude. I watched I think it's a Netflix movie with Clive Owen called Anon, which is a world where everybody has like a HUD UI in their head. It's never explained like if it's contact lenses or if it's actually in your brain, but literally everybody that's walking around is recording everything at all times. It's kind of like an old Black Mirror episode. And the cops end up finding this chick who erases memories and can alter reality as you're seeing it live. And then her clients start being murdered. It's a really creepy movie, but it's also a really cool concept. So yeah, I would highly recommend that one. It was really good. And then I was doing okay in the Gonna Geek Fantasy Movie League, but they just readjusted and damn Jurassic World has the bonus points again. So I just dropped down from 2nd to 3rd for the week. But overall, I'm 3rd for the week and moved into 3rd for the season. So if things stay the way they are for the weekend, I didn't do too bad with my 3 screens of The Incredibles. Willie's right above me by like 2 million. And it looks like Lobster, if he keeps the bonus for Jurassic World, beat us all with 87 million this week.
Damn.
But still not too bad. And then I got a little more reading done at work. I'm a little more than halfway through Neil deGrasse Tyson's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. And I got to a chapter where he explains why there is like a visual limit to the known universe. And it's something that never made sense to me before. And it actually makes sense now. And it kind of blew my mind at work. And I had to stop what I was doing for 5 minutes and just sit and kind of think. Because when I wrapped my head around the concept and it actually made sense to me, it was like, oh, wow. Okay, I get that now. Holy shit. And kind of like had the universe like inside my head for a moment, and it was fucking crazy. But it's a really good book. And then I've been getting into tracking my Kickstarter, of course. So there's good and bad news. I guess the good news, or no, the bad news is that I won't be shaving this down and rocking giant mutton chops. So I'm probably just gonna fucking shave today because we did not hit the funding goal within the first week. Which, you know, it was a lofty goal, but I thought we might have done it. The good news is that we're 7 days in and we've got $186 towards the $800 goal with 20 days to go. So we're roughly the 20% mark, or just over the 20% mark. So just under a quarter with a quarter of the time gone. So almost on track. Need a little bit more of a push. Sadly, between Willie and one other person, I had 2 people pledge at the $40 level on the first day and then pull their pledges back, which doesn't help fucking get me on the new and noteworthy. And so I did not make the new and noteworthy. So that definitely hurts on day one on a Kickstarter, but it's not doing bad. We got all of the early bird specials are gone, but there's still 24 pieces of the original artwork left. And then an unlimited number of just the regular $7 sketchbooks that people got them. But like I said, the free shipping ones are gone. So now if you want it, you are going to have to pay for the shipping because God damn, the U.S. Postal Service is not cheap, and they like to gouge me. So
No, they are not cheap.
yeah, I gotta pay to cover those to get them shipped out. And yeah, like I said, I do like it's like $3.50 now for every envelope I set, and I think I only set the shipping at $3 for domestic, just because I'll make up the difference for doing a ton of them, and then the sketchbooks. But yeah, it's hopefully it'll make it. Still looking pushing towards $800 by August 5th, so we got some time. But yeah, I need more retweets, need more shares. Appreciate everybody that's already backed it, everybody that's already shared it on Twitter. Had a bunch of people sharing it on Facebook and on Twitter. I don't know if I've seen it on Tumblr yet, but yeah, thank you all. It's much appreciated. I'm really hoping I can hit the 800 so that we can get these printed. The good news is that it's Kickstarter, so it's not Indiegogo. So if I don't hit the funding goal, nobody gets charged anything. And then if we do hit the funding goal, it's not going to come out of your account until August 5th. So you can pledge anytime between now and then, but it's only going to be charged to your card if it gets past the $800 goal on that day. It'll be what I set it for 10 o'clock on Sunday morning on August 5th. So it'll be live during the show. We'll be able to find out whether or not it actually funds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to get into. And now I'm going to go get into shaving because it's been 100 fucking degrees, and this giant neck beard's been bugging me.
It'll probably feel nice when you go outside next then to not have all the facial covering.
Indeed. Time to go attack myself with some clippers.
All right. So, guys, we are going to wrap things up. A friendly reminder that we do stream live every Sunday, live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over on Geeks.live, the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. If you head on over to Geeks.live, you can catch the live shows, or at the bottom of the page, see a calendar that shows you when every live program is going to be available for you. So, hey, if you don't want to watch TV, you don't want to watch Netflix, come watch some Gonna Geek content. We've always got something going for you guys, I swear. I swear we got something for you. Willie did have to bail early because there was something going on. I'm not exactly sure what, so he is gone. Anthony, you have any final thoughts for us as we shut down this stream?
He stunk up that bathroom. He had to run.
It's possible. It's possible.
Go back to Kickstarter. Share it. Retweet it. I love you all.
Sounds like a plan to me. So, guys, we are getting out of here. Please feel free to come join us next Sunday as we get back into more of our typical shenanigans and ridiculousness. And, hey, we're like a month and a half away from the return of Naki also. So, go us. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at GonnaGeek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@GonnaGeek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.